Okay, so I haven't done a video in the van for a while, so I thought I would do that. And it's going to be a quick video on coffee because I've gone through a few different things for coffee, and essentially I had like the glass percolator where you put the coffee in the bottom, pour the water over, let it sit for a few minutes and plunge it down. I had one of those for about 12 months and then it kind of cracked, and I found I wasn't using it as much as what I would have liked because it was a bit of a pain in the ass to clean, especially if you don't have ready access to water, because the easiest way is just to put lots of water in there, spin it around, pour it out kind of thing. But trying to conserve water, I was like scooping the coffee grains out and then a little bit of water to wipe it out and like paper towels and stuff, but it was a bit of a pain in the ass to do. But with pour over coffee, it's much easier because you basically just throw away the paper when you're done. So anyway, I'll show you the setup. Okay, so I couldn't do the pouring one-handed, but there's basically my billy boiling, and what I do is I basically fill this cup up full of water, pour it in to the billy, and then I pour a little bit more in the cup and throw it in the billy because you want a little bit extra for the process, which I will show. So this is the pour over coffee. I think it's a Harris 60V2, I believe, or V62, but it's a 2-cup one. This is plastic. You can get metal, glass and ceramic, but I got the plastic one because when I was asking about the difference between the plastic and the metal, they just said the metal, the main difference is might hold the heat a bit better. But so I thought, well, for $15 versus 60 something for the metal one, I'd go with the plastic. I did buy a proper pour over kettle, which I'm not got on the flame because I don't want it to be black underneath. Like this one here, you can see it's black. So I'm just going to pour the water into this. It also allows me to control how much water I'm using as well, I guess, so I know that it's only got a cup worth of water in there. And then obviously I've got the coffee and the paper filters. Okay, so you can see the paper filter's not really sitting in there properly, and you got the kettle. With that I've put a little bit of water in. But this process here, you can see how the wind is kind of making this go all over the place. The water, I don't put this in until I'm ready, because the water, and let's see if I can do that. I'm trying to look at what I'm doing, as well as, but basically you pour the water over the top there, and what that does is it makes the paper stick, which is good if you're in a van where there's wind, but it also is meant to help with the temperature. But you basically just throw that water out because apparently it has the taste of the paper as well. So then basically what I'm going to do, trying to do all this one-handed, is with the this is the scoop that came with it. I'm going to put one in because I've got a big ass cup and I like to have strong coffee. I'm still experimenting with the strength, but that's probably just 1.5 or maybe a little bit more than half. So that goes in there as well. Sorry about if I'm not showing it properly because I'm trying to do this one-handed. Then you basically just make that be as flat as possible, and I just need to put the right amount of liquid in here. So what I'm going to do is take that off there actually and pour any excess water from the kettle into there. And then what I'm going to do with the billy is just pour the right amount of water into my cup that I need to make a cup, and then pour it into here. So that way I've got the exact amount that I want. So I'm going to do that. I can't really do that one-handed, so I'm going to see you in a minute. Okay, so you can see I've got a cup of water. And I'm going to try and do this one-handed. Not as good as I'd be able to do it two-handed, but that's alright. A little bit of water spillage. Then put Old Maid on top, and Lid there. Basically all we want to do is just gently wet the top of the coffee grains, and then we want to have it sit there for say 30 seconds. 30 seconds to 45 seconds. I've seen people talk about both. Because I'm recording this, I'm not paying as much attention as what I probably should to the time. My hand is shaking. Alright, so that's probably enough time, and then what I want to do is, you don't want to put it on the paper, but just the coffee grounds. You just want to slowly pour. Like, the slower you pour, the stronger the coffee you get. I tend to wait. I don't think you really have to wait, but you can see that I'm just doing this really, really slowly, circles. I guess you can get better at this as you do it. I've only had, it's probably like the third or the fourth time that I've made the coffee. I'm trying to do it with the cameras a bit harder as well to get the nice steady flow. But that's why I put the amount of water in the cup and then pour it into the billy, because into the slow pour kettle, because that way I know exactly how much water's going to go into the cup. And then essentially I just get like a butter knife. You can get proper scrapers for this, but I'm just putting the coffee grains back into the coffee and then doing some little X's. Again, I don't know whether this is necessary, but people that are baristas doing videos reckon that that's what you're supposed to do, and I've done that, and turns out pretty damn good. But you can see the coffee's fairly nice and creamy, just leaking through. And if you read the things like the angles and the grooves and stuff, is meant to make the water pour over the maximum amount of coffee grains, to give you like the strongest possible taste. But I don't know whether you can see in there, but not really. You got the coffee dripping through. But what I love about this pour over coffee is that it's really, really strong, and depending on how much coffee grains you use, it's a nice strong coffee compared to, say, the like the Robert Tim's coffee bags, and compared to the percolator, it makes a much stronger coffee, I find. But you can see that's still dripping in there, and that's almost done because liquid is kind of out of there. And so see, I've got a full cup. and I might just throw that away. So just to clean up is as simple as picking up that and maybe give that a bit of a shake to get rid of the drips, and into my garbage bag. Nice and easy clean up. And then usually I'll just rinse some water over that to clean that. But there's my coffee. Okay, so I hope you found that video useful on the best, maybe not the best is subjective, but one way to have nice coffee in the van when you're doing van life. I like it because it's nice and easy. Makes a really good coffee, quick to clean up. You just basically throw the filter in the bin, and water usage, I don't think you use that much. Like that water that I tipped out, if I really wanted to conserve water, I could tip it into like a smaller bottle that I use for like brushing my teeth or whatever. The papery taste from the filter is not going to matter for just rinsing your mouth out and cleaning your toothbrush. So you could conserve that water. And there's a lot, if you've got one of those glass percolators, it's you can use a spray bottle to wet it, and a paper towel to clean it out, but then you're going to go through quite a bit of extra paper towel. So I mean, there's pluses and minuses. I like the pour over coffee because you can make it stronger or weaker, and I find that the pour over coffee was making a stronger coffee for me than the percolator. And it makes a stronger coffee than the Robert Tim's tea bags. And yeah, so I would highly recommend you try pour over coffee. If you've never had it, it's pretty good, and it's great for van life because it's easy to clean up. Yeah, basically easy to clean up. I'm ranting now, so I'll end the video there. If you liked it, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you in the next video.